Let me formally welcome you to this interactive session hosted by the Wellinger Institute of Management and specifically the WeSchool team, which runs a media and entertainment program for almost 20 years now. So, from the days of television till OTT, Wellinger has been able to run a very
Sorry, Samir, you've become mute if you are speaking.
1 second. Am I audible
Yeah,
now?
yeah, you are
Yeah,
audible now.
super. Yeah. So this is a part of the series, Mentor Talks series, which Wellinger Institute of Management hosts. And you have been an instrumental part, and you have seen the growth and journey of the media entertainment program. You have addressed students. This time we are doing it online. You have been mentoring and taking students as interns also. So it's a part of that series. Uh, the audience today who we have are some of our students from the program, and many of them are aspirants who are looking at making a career in media, entertainment, advertising, branding. So that is the audience, and I'm sure there are some working professionals who are in the industry and thinking what next. So when the topic came, what next in the world of media, entertainment, marketing, who better than you is what we thought to invite you. So, welcome to this show. Vivek, probably some opening remarks on what's actually happening in this world of branding, advertising, media, and marketing.
Okay, so I'll start off with a very simple statement. You know, the founder Anderson Horowitz said that there are some events in the history of humanity that resets entire humanity, right? So if you take AI today, is that such event? The entire humanity, in some words, in some lens, is being reset. It is not resetting one part of humanity; it is resetting every single part of humanity, right? So what happens is earlier, what would happen is when you would create, let's say, a steam engine, it would disrupt transportation. Today, AI is disrupting every single industry and in disrupting unrelated industries. So let me give you an example. Let's say when driverless cars come in, you think it will disrupt the automotive industry. No, it will disrupt automotive industry, but it may also disrupt the entire real estate industry. So you'll say, why do you think real estate?
Why?
So now just imagine today, 1/3 or 1/4 of all spaces in a commercial city is spent on parking. Driverless cars don't need parking. So suddenly you will have 25% more supply in the city. Now what happens is if your car is driving on its own, you can watch a movie, you can work, you can sleep, you can do whatever you want in the car. So now you could live 1 hour away outside of the city and still have a very happy farmhouse kind of a place, right? So now what happens is at one
Yes.
end, demand goes down, the other end, supply goes up. So the real estate industry could get disrupted because of driverless cars. There is no direct relation. You take ports as an industry. Today, there are two industries like drones and battery are doubling every 9 months. So what it means is that your battery capacity could carry a drone for 1 hour. Now it can carry after 9 months, 2 hours. After 9 more months, 4 hours. Then it's 8 hours, and then 16 hours, and it's 32 hours. Similarly, your drone could carry 500 kilos today, will create 1 ton tomorrow, then 2 tons and 4 tons and 8 tons, 16 tons, and then 32 tons is the biggest container as an example. So then what happens is all containers can be picked up from the ship and directly put into the truck. So now what happens is, why would you need a port? You can just pick up a container directly from the ship and put it on the truck. There's no need for a port. So now what is happening is two unrelated industries, drones and battery, is disrupting the port industry. Driverless cars is disrupting the real estate industry. So the ability of AI to connect all different industries and disrupt multiple industries at the same time, it is something which humanity has never seen before. So I think media entertainment is the lowest hanging fruit. Everything in media entertainment is going to get reset. It's going to be a direct reset, but there's also going to be indirect reset, right? And the fact of the matter is, because humanity is being reset, I think you look at AI not as one technology, but as something that is resetting the entire world, right? So if you keep that in mind, then you will start thinking about your careers, about marketing, about advertising, about a lot of things very differently. Then you consider AI just to be one other technology and then think, oh, it may be a fad, it may come, it may go, etc. Your ability to rethink the world in the world of AI. So there is a very famous person called Amara. They call it Amara's law. Amara law basically says that people overestimate technology in the short run, but they underestimate technology in the long run. So people are overestimating what AI can do in the short run, but they're underestimating what AI is going to do in the long run. Same thing. In the short run, what people expected internet to do, but long run, what internet did. Mobile, short run, that. So now you take all these technologies, most of the technologies were linear in nature. So if you take mobile phones, they improve every year, but they improved in linear fashion. The camera became a little bit better, the speed became a little bit better. They never improved in an exponential fashion. AI is something where 1 becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes 8, becomes 16. So what happens is when you take that piece of rice on a chessboard, by the time it reaches the 64th square, the emperor goes bankrupt because he doesn't have enough rice in his storage, right? The famous story, right? So that exponential
Yes.
growth that AI is going through is something which is going to disrupt everything that we do today. So this is one takeaway everybody can take from here is that don't look at AI
Mhm.
as a technology. Look at AI
Okay.
as an incident which is resetting, in a way, the world.
Sure. But Vivek, just assume we keep AI in the side for a while. What are that other skills which the OTT, advertising, social media, sports industries, what is that the somebody who's now looking at starting a career should look at? Where is the space for him?
Yeah. So I think, see, one good thing I would say anybody who's in the media entertainment field has to first realize that one thing is that the India's media entertainment industry sector has crossed 2.7 lakh crores this year.
Wow.
Right? That's the size of the industry. Now you look at it, it's growing at 9% year on year, fastest growing in probably in the world. Right? So you are joining a growing industry rather than a shrinking industry. Right? If you take car industry, automotive industry, and you are joining an automotive industry, you are in trouble because cars are being used only 2% of the asset value, and with driverless cars, there is going to be
Hmm.
so much more supply left because people will not own cars, then you would be joining a shrinking industry. You will not be joining a growing industry. Media entertainment is
Sure.
going to grow exponentially. Two reasons. One is when people can do things faster, then they have more time for entertainment, right? So in
Yes.
a way,
Yes.
it is going to grow a lot. Second thing is what's going to happen is that people will now we need to sell more products. There'll be more personalization. There'll be more creatives to be done. So the way I look at it is that a lot of people think that AI is going to take away jobs. So I have a different view, and I'll tell you what my view is. My view is that if you take 30, 40 years ago, we used to make Tom and Jerry cartoons. Some of you may have heard of Tom and Jerry. But now, let's say it required 500 people to make Tom and Jerry. And today, maybe one, two people on a computer can make Tom and Jerry. But we don't make Tom and Jerry
Mhm.
anymore. We make Shrek. Shrek still requires
Yes.
500 people. So what's going to happen is
Okay.
if you continue
Hmm.
doing what you're doing today, there will be no people required. But you will
Okay.
have to do 100x more than what you are doing today. For that, people will be required. So the key is that a lot of automation that we used to do, in a way, this generation and all of you who are passing out today are lucky. You won't have to do a lot of mechanical tasks that people when I was in my 20s, had to do just to learn how to do reports, to clean up Excel sheets, to do reconciliation, to tally accounts, to a lot of mechanical tasks before we got to do strategic tasks. Luckily, that you will have to now is that without doing all the mechanical stuff, like my parents' generation did not have calculators. They had to use physical things to do calculations, right? They would use abacus and they would use paper and pen and do calculations. So when they saw us using computers, or using calculators, they say, wow, this was so easy. Same way, our generation never had AI when we were in our 20s. This generation will have AI in their 20s. So they will actually get to do a lot more than what our generation was achieving from productivity point of view. So the biggest advantage is that you're going into a growing industry that is really large at this point of time and is growing exponentially. And the future of the industry is going to be better than the past. So this is going to become bigger and bigger industry. Even today, if you take, we thought that in a way, media and entertainment formats have sort of reached their pinnacle and maybe the new format will not be discovered. But just imagine 3 years, 5 years ago, there were no microdramas. Today, microdramas are the biggest
Yes.
industry. And
Mm.
I was pitching to some company about microdramas, so I downloaded a few to watch it. I got addicted to it. Yeah, it was so interesting. Yeah. So I was
Yes.
thinking,
In
it's like,
video, micro dramas and stuff. Yeah.
so
So true.
yeah.
So
Yeah. So
true.
I think this is the other thing is that I think we are in a very good place. There is going to be larger opportunities. And I think we have to make sure that we don't go into the market and try to do mechanical things, which will get automated. So the best chess players in the world today are actually centaurs, which is basically centaur is half human, half horse. So in the world of AI, it's a team of humans and AI put together. They that chess team can defeat an individual AI, can defeat an individual human. So basically,
Mm.
people who know how to use AI better are the ones who are going to win, not the people who consider AI as competition. So AI
Sure.
is your friend.
Sure.
If you can use it together, I think you're in the right industry at the right time. You will get to do interesting work. You will get to grow in this industry because it's a growing industry. And I have a feeling that you will actually get paid a lot more than what you would have got paid in the past, because in the past you were doing mechanical stuff for many years before you would get into strategic tasks and strategic decisions.
Sure. But Vivek, see, when we run a business school, and you know Wellinger quite well, still students are coming today, and we teach the business of media and entertainment. So, where do you see this conversion of management, people skills, negotiation, as against creativity and design thinking? So, students are also confused, where do they go? Because not everybody is creative, and then students want to get into the OTT and they want to now get into the influencer economy and a creator economy. So that is a big thing. So where what do students who are management professionals in media, what is the future or kind of jobs that are emerging for them? You
So I
deal
think
with
the
so
first,
many clients at this, and so where is
yeah,
this convergence happening at what level?
okay. So I think the first thing is that I think formal education in an institute is going to be very critical for people's success. Because what happens is when you try to learn something online and you don't know how to interact well with humans, communicate with them, pitch to them, build rapport with them, go out for a drink with them, what happens is your real life skills are limited. And because the real life skills are
Mhm.
limited, those are skills that only humans can do. You can go and take a client out for a drink, understand the challenges, and come out with ideas how you can solve the problem. And then you can come back and brainstorm on it with humans along with AI built in to come up with a solution. But also identifying what problem the client is facing and how to solve that problem, right? So if you are just trying to learn online and you have very limited human skills of evaluating people, talking to them, understanding their problems, building rapport with them, in the real world, you will face challenges. So I think it's very important to have human connection
Sure.
and seeing that, see, my belief is people do business with people whom they like. People rarely do
Yeah,
business with people whom they don't like,
absolutely.
right? So I think
Absolutely.
that is one if you skill set that you build when you are in a physical place or in an online place where you're meeting your friends and colleagues, etc. Even if you're doing a Zoom call, but you're talking to humans and learning from them. I believe that whenever you learn from a course, you learn one third from the professors, one third from your fellow classmates, and one third actually by just being in that environment where you are introspecting what you're learning. So you learn from yourself. So this only happens
Sure.
when you join a formal institution where you understand branding at a deeper level. You understand. So what happens is that you may get a lot of superficial answers from AI, but you tell AI that I don't believe you, but I believe this, then the AI will support you, right? The AI is a people
Yeah.
pleaser. So you will not know how to introspect the answer and curate the answer that the AI is giving you. So I think one is human relationships, human connects is one skill that I think is going to be important in the world. So AI proficiency is going to be very, very important in any case, but it's not the
Sure.
proficiency of knowing how to use ChatGPT. It is
Okay.
basically, can you use AI to build things? So right
To
now,
build things.
build things. Like I
Okay.
right now build a Consumr.ai website completely. I own a table tennis team called Goa Challengers and Ultimate Table Tennis. I built the entire website of this, including
Hmm.
booking the domain name, getting an email address, building the architecture of the website, everything. So the reason I'm not building it because I want to build it, it's not going to be the website that goes live, but it's I'm building it for the thinking of how can I use AI to build things. So it's important to learn how to build things because tomorrow when people will interview you, they will not interview you to test your knowledge because it's like testing somebody on what 527 into 68 is no
Hmm.
use today, right? Because I'll say like, boss, I can use a calculator to do that. Same way, testing your knowledge was the third prime minister of India is no use because you can use AI to find that. But what I want to test you is, can you use AI to build things? Can you use AI to solve problems? Can you use AI to do things? You know the combination of tools that can be done. So the ability to do things using AI and accomplish certain goals is something that I would test, right? Uh, I think it's
Okay.
very important that people should have ownership, right? And they should have actually used AI to solve some problems. So it's not that you have, you know, theoretical knowledge about AI. You should be actually using AI to solve problems. So whether it's using this to think of an idea, doing research for it, like Consumr.ai, we are trying to disrupt the entire research industry. It's a $150 billion industry. So what Google did to advertising, I feel AI is doing to market research. Where today,
Okay.
with how vibe coding, lovable Replit can help you build websites, we are trying to provide consumer intelligence platform where people can build research projects with 5 lines of sort of prompt. So now that is what I believe that if 30 years ago there were 100,000 advertisers, today there are millions because of Google. Same way today there are 100,000 people, companies who do market research and consumer research. There's going to be millions tomorrow because of AI. And we want to be that company who creates and captures that synthetic research market. So now the thing is, everybody in this room should know a lot of different uh, tools that are out there that can be used to solve problems for brands and large companies. So when you go and talk to those companies, you should say, listen, Mr. Brand, these are the three challenges I think you face. I've identified a combination of these 16 platforms that working together is going to solve these three problems for you. If you get me on board, I will solve these three problems for you, and this is how I'm going to solve it. That is what the brand is looking for. They're not looking at, oh, I know how to use ChatGPT, right? Because
Okay.
it's useless to say that I know how to use Excel, right? Or I now
Yeah.
know how to use that, right? So you mentioned content creation and influencers.
It,
I
yeah,
feel
because these
it
are
is
the queries which our counselors get or students who call us for this program inquiry. Everybody wants to be an influencer, you know. So what
yeah.
is this content economy and do normal people, BCom, BA, BBA, BMS guys have a chance?
So let me give you an analogy and then try to explain influencer things for you, right? See, I'm a sports person. I used to play for UP State, and now, in a way, in the Buddha category of 40 plus, I've won silver medals in nationals. But the thing is, could table tennis as a sport ever support my career? Probably not. Did it make me
Sure.
a better person, a better entrepreneur, a better leader? I think yes. Because what table tennis and any sport does for you is first it teaches you how to lose early in life. Because however talent you have, if you don't work hard, you're going to lose. And you're going to start losing very early in life. People are going to come and thrash you. So even a Virat Kohli and Sachin Tendulkar was bowled out 10,000 times before they became Virat Kohli's and Sachin Tendulkar's. So what happens is it makes you humble. Second thing is gives you very clear indication. The only way to improve and become a better player is by practice. So there are times where 68 days in a row, Tendulkar has played cricket morning and evening, and he has fallen asleep while having dinner, right? That's how passionate he was, right? And that's what made him what he became. So hard work makes you. There could be two people with similar talent. People said Kamli had better talent than Tendulkar, but he didn't become Tendulkar. So it is just hard work
Mm.
improves you. That is something which again sport teaches you. So same way, what I believe is that I think becoming a content creator will help you in two ways. Can everybody become a content creator? Yes, they can. Can everybody become
Okay.
a Mr. Beast? No, they can't. The
No,
thing
they can't.
is, becoming a content creator will help you in multiple things. First thing it'll help you understand how difficult it is. So what happens is when you then
Okay.
look at some content creators who have achieved it, you will come to know that they have achieved it, right? So when you start playing a sport, you realize that professionals who play that sport at that level, they have put in a lot more work into that sport. That's the reason they play the way they do, right? So that
Yeah.
teaches you how difficult it is, and it makes you appreciate and learn content creation at a deeper level. Second thing is whenever you try to learn something, uh, if you can practice it, learn it
Okay.
through practice, then your proficiency in that becomes better. And if you become and you have the talent for it, you become a content creator, I think it'll be very, very useful, right? Because my daughter is a content creator. She has about 1 million followers across YouTube and Instagram. And again, as a content creator, she ends up making tens of lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs in a month sometimes. So what happens is that automatically, as a young girl, it's a lot of money for them, right? So you can make a pretty good career. And I believe that content creation is here to stay and is going to increase substantially. So let me just give you the analogy why it is going to increase substantially. The total circulation of Times of India today is about 3 to 4 million. Okay. If you take the readership of Times of India is about 14, 15 million. So the thing is, just imagine for 15 million people circulation, Times of India today makes 3, 4,000 crores in advertising. Today, one single influencer has 20, 30, 50, 100, 150, 200 million followers. I mean, the reach is 20x, 10x of Times of India. And they're probably making only 10 crores, 20 crores, 50 crores a year. So will they start
Wow.
making thousands of crores a year? I think they will. And imagine, right, if you're an influencer who's into beauty influencer or you're a influencer into, let's put it this way, luxury influencer, would you trust a beauty influencer telling you about a skincare cream, or would you trust Times of India where somebody's advertising a skincare cream? You will obviously trust the
Absolutely. Yeah.
beauty influencer more. So if you
Sure.
can get that beauty influencer at 100 the price of Times of India, you would
Mm.
rather spend money there. And that's what Unilever announced, right? That they're going to work with
Work
3,000
together.
plus influencers and spend 15% of the budget, which is 150, 200 crores or more in just influencer marketing. So influencer marketing is here to stay. It's going to grow exponentially. There is going to be an opportunity in content creation, but there's going to be opportunity in like content edits, photography,
Okay.
video creation, using AI for content creation, different industries, becoming a content creator. If you say the content creation as an industry, there's going to be 20 different things that one can do in the content creation industry, and all of them are going to grow exponentially. So there is a lot of career opportunities that are going to be there in content creation.
Superb. So, Vivek, now this particular media entertainment program at Wellinkarna has two components. One is the theory, case studies, industry visits, but a big component is a capstone project. And also, so that's a 2 month project. And also, during the program, students do have a choice to do a lot of projects. Conventionally, Wellinkar students used to go to advertising agencies, Ogilvy, Lintas, Madison, those kind. Then they started going to Google, YouTube. This year, what should be the strategy? Where should they really, what kind of projects these guys have to take up so that after a year, when they come out, they are more robust as against the competition. They have a choice what to pick up. So, one, of course, everybody, we will encourage them to be creators. However, good, bad, ugly, they will grow over there. What other two, three kind of projects should somebody pick up in this 11-month program?
So Aliyu, I think they should work with a lot of AI companies.
With
As a first step,
AI
they should
companies.
also work with AI companies. So let's say Consumr.ai is one of them. There are a lot of AI companies out
Yes.
there which are building really good AI products from India. There's a company called Emergent, there is Whisperflow. Uh, if you get access to some of the other companies who are now setting up shop here
Sure.
in India with the open AI of the world, definitely look at a lot of AI companies. A lot of large unicorns in India are also now
Hmm.
launching their own AI engines. So Make My Trips are launching something in AI and they call it something. So every single large unicorn, whether in the fintech field or travel field or e-commerce field, they're all launching their own e-commerce projects. So if we can work on
Okay.
some of those things with those companies on their e-commerce or the AI endeavors, I think there is an opportunity out there. That's what we should be looking at. I think at some level, most of the traditional advertising agencies and networks, their business model is getting disrupted. And unfortunately, what happens is
Okay.
when a student joins, like I've worked in Dentsu for 8 years, when a student joined me in Dentsu, then we would make them do a lot of mechanical tasks, which were not very useful in their career growth point of
Uh-huh.
view, right? So my thinking
Okay.
is that if they can work into strategic teams where they bring a lot of AI knowledge into the mix, I think they will help these companies deploy AI. And if that is the case, like I've just got somebody as a person who's as a founder's associate in my team. Her job is to make sure that she helps me deploy AI in everything that I do, including using a recorder for all my meetings, transcribing it, creating a plan of action, creating the next steps, and sending it across. Even like this talk, early I would like to here to summarize it, come up with 10 action points that people should do to build a better career in the field of marketing, right? So I think so. Basically, the way I look at it is you should identify which are the sunrise industries where the companies are going to grow
Hmm.
10x, 100x in the next 1 year. If you can do a project with those companies, I think you will learn a
Okay.
lot more than to join a company which is going to grow 2%, 5%, 10% in a year. So you take
So
all the
idea is
traditional
high growth
industries,
companies.
high growth companies.
Okay.
Because in
D2C
high growth
companies, you
companies,
mean to say?
yes, D2C companies will be great. A lot of D2C companies are
Okay.
growing very rapidly. Uh, but join a fast growing smaller company rather than
Small.
a slow growing large company.
Okay. And what happens, Vivek, to those who are not really AI savvy? They are creative guys. They want to get into media. They want to get into sports or event management, celebrity management. They want to join. Many of our students at Wellinger are people who did maybe some good photography during college days as hobby. Many of them are writers, content writers, because they did a program from probably any good college and they are good in writing, they feel. And then they come for a media entertainment program to us, and then their aspiration is to become a journalist. We personally feel that field is not that exciting anymore, journalism per se. So what do these people do who are not AI, non-AI guys in media
So,
world? Where
so
is the
Samir,
skills for
let's
them?
say, okay, let me ask you a question. Suppose 10 years ago, somebody came to you,
Hmm.
had exactly the same thing, and said, listen, I want to work with you, but I will not be working through a computer. मेरे को computer नहीं आता है. I will not use a
Hmm.
mobile phone. I will not use a computer.
Hmm.
Handwritten जो भी कराना है मैं कर लूंगा. I'm very good in
Labor
writing,
job, yeah.
but I'm
Hmm.
really good in handwriting. I'll give you an amazing article, handwritten,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
will not access emails also. Like, I'm sorry, but if you give me a handwritten thing or can print out of an email, I'll reply to you by hand, right? Do you
Hmm.
think you would survive in any industry,
No, yeah.
right? Same
And
way.
I
So if
get the
today you
I get
expect,
the drive, yeah.
right? So today you can't survive, right? Regardless of what you do. So I'll
Hmm.
give you an example. My receptionist, my office peon, 10 years ago in Dentsu, I'd got him on WhatsApp where I would tell him that इतना चाय चाहिए, इतना कॉफी चाहिए, इसमें शक्कर नहीं चाहिए, ये चाहिए, and I would send it to him, and he would not make a mistake. Otherwise, what happened? The peon would come, you would order something, and he would make a mistake. So just imagine, right? As a peon, he had to know how to use WhatsApp and internet. As a receptionist, you had to now
Hmm.
use some things, right? So my thinking is, if today you want to do anything and you say, I'm not
Okay.
going to use AI, it's like saying, I will not use a mobile phone, I will not use a computer. I want to work in your company, but I will not use email and internet and computer,
Sure.
right? Then you don't have no future, right? Because
No
then you have
future
to
left.
then become a monk, right? If you become a
Got
Tibetan
you.
monk somewhere and you say, I will not use a computer, that's fine. But then you have to become a monk.
Sure.
If you want to
Sure. So,
work in any
so whether
company,
you are
AI is hygiene. It's like how a computer was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I think AI is hygiene.
sure. So it's three layers now. One is the management piece, people, influence, negotiation, that piece, working with teams. Second is the creative talent piece for the industry, what it stands for, media, entertainment, advertising, branding. And third is we are clubbing that with technology and AI, digital. That's the
Hmm.
conversion we are seeing in a person who next 3 5 years the jobs which are there, it's a combination of these three skills, Vivek, or some more skills you think a person will need in 2028 29 beyond management, creativity, and tech.
So I think management is something which is going to remain. So if you
Okay.
divide into L1, L2, and L3, L1 is management. I think it's going to remain because at the end of the day,
Okay.
some kind of curation will be required at
Sure.
some level. The day management is not required, then AI would have taken over the world. and then management is not required, right? Of course, right?
Okay.
So I think management remains. So L2 and L3 will reduce substantially. L3s will go away. L3 is the basic automation tasks. So
Okay.
the bottom end of the thing is going to go away, or it's going to become much lesser, right? If you have 100 people doing it, tomorrow there'll be only 10 people wanting it to be done. So at some
Okay.
level, I think the only way to survive in this world is going to be how are you improving yourself and how are you able to learn on a day-to-day basis. So learning, so Warren Buffett was asked a long time ago, like 20 years back, I saw one of his interviews. Somebody asked him, how do you fight inflation? Like, how do you tackle inflation? So the Warren Buffett
Hmm.
said, I thought he'll say invest in mutual funds, do SIP, etc. He said, you fight inflation through education. If you're a doctor, become a better doctor. If you're a lawyer, become a better lawyer.
Hmm.
So when you train yourself and you learn and make yourself better, the money that you will earn will be more than what the inflation would be. So the only way to fight
Okay.
inflation is through education.
Is it
Same
education?
way, the only way to fight AI is through education. The more you
So,
improve yourself, you will remain relevant and you will survive. Earlier, people could learn something and then not learn anything for 20 years and they could do the same job. There was a very interesting article recently I read, which was very interesting. It said that the pressure of being extraordinary. See, if you take most of
okay.
humanity, right? People were bricklayers, people were basic workmen in a factory. They spent 20, 30 years working in a factory, putting nut and bolts in a car, built a family, fed them, lived a normal life, right? And there was one Henry Ford, and there were one Steve Jobs, and there were a few people who were did some extraordinary thing. But today, this every single human in the world who is a little bit affluent is being taught the guitar, taught a sport, and trying to learn how to do 5 things, and everybody's attempting to make their children extraordinary. But how can you make everybody extraordinary? so, so there's a lot
Yeah.
of pressure to become extraordinary. So at some level,
Hmm.
unfortunately, we're living in that age where extraordinary has become ordinary.
Ordinary.
So now what happens is that people who are able to use AI and build things and become super, super, super extraordinary will become extraordinary. Otherwise, extraordinary is become normal. And if
Ordinary.
extraordinary is normal, that means extraordinary is ordinary.
Sure. Sure. Get your point. One important questions, students and parents both have, Vivek,
Hmm.
as people graduate from various streams, engineering, arts, commerces, sciences, and they are not though, I'm talking about students who are not super planned about they want to be chartered accountants or they want to become engineers or doctors. Those are very well planned students, and then they are extraordinary. But there's a huge lot of people who start waking up in the final year of graduation or after graduation also sometime, what to do next. or what next after graduation. You must have seen many people in companies after 2 3 years also they don't know kya kar raha hu. So this is a very huge population, and with due respect to them, when they come to a college like Wellinger for inquiry, their
Hmm.
idea is what, Vivek, I want to do advertising. I want to do only digital media. I want to do only PR. I want to do only film production. Whereas what we are trying to propagate for years together now, the world of specialization is over and you need an integrated media plan. Our program is an integrated media manager, okay, where you need to know little of all the fields, whether it's celebrity management, wedding planning, sports sponsorship, fan club, to digital to outdoor holdings, because the client wants a solution and not super specialization, right? What is your view on this? We say go integrated, figure out after 1 year after the course is over in the campus where to go. What's your view on this?
I fully agree with you. This is exactly how people should learn. Because see what happens is, right? Think
Okay.
of this. If you want to be a neurosurgeon, do you
Hmm.
learn neurosurgeon directly? You have to become a
No,
doctor
you do
first,
MBBS?
right?
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is you
Okay.
have to do MBBS. So in order to
Sure.
do a specialization, MBBS is essential. Otherwise, what would happen is
Hmm.
people from 12th standard onward, no MBBS, मेरे को neurosurgeon नहीं बनना है. Why should I waste my time becoming MBBS, right?
Okay.
But in order to be a good neurosurgeon, you'll have to learn the rest of the body. You cannot become a good creative director if you don't understand advertising. You cannot become a good content creator if you don't understand branding. You can't become a good video production guy if you don't understand how the video production is going to be used by brands. So understanding integrated approach towards marketing and communication is essential for you for doing specialization. You cannot do specialization without understanding getting a comprehensive understanding of the all the aspects of marketing and communication. So I agree with you 400%. You
Go
can't
integrate.
become a specialist without understanding an integrated way of why how marketing communication is done. So I fully agree with you. And I think the doctor
Super.
example is I think the best example you should give to
Best
parents and
example.
students alike,
Absolutely.
right? Because it's simple,
Yes.
right? They'll understand that very easily.
Yes, absolutely. Because still people have no, I want to do only digital marketing. They come with that, or I want to do only Xavier's or communication program, or go to Whistling Wood only for film making. Good programs, but I think the market is moving towards integrated knowledge. Companies would give a premium to somebody who has that kind of integrated knowledge. That way.
Fully agree with you.
Last question, Vivek, before we open, last important question, my belief is there are no permanent jobs in the future, right? Many jobs are going to be temporary, freelancing, project driven. Where do you see a future, maybe next 3 to 5 years, for somebody who has graduated now, maybe done a program with Wellinger or somewhere else on media entrepreneurship? You have been a serial successful entrepreneur in media, but can somebody young start as a media entrepreneur, because he may not get a job? That's the reality.
So I
So
think
how do you
this is
look
the
at
best.
media entrepreneurship?
So I feel, Samir, this is the best time in the world humanity has ever known to basically become an entrepreneur. The cost of becoming
Okay.
an entrepreneur in terms of building products is the lowest it's ever been. The
Hmm.
knowledge required, like I've built websites, I've built apps, I've done this through white coding. So this was never possible earlier. What we built with Consumr.ai, which is now working with Dell, New York Life, Vanguard, Pfizer, Avis kind of companies, was built with an 8 people team. Right? This would have never been possible. You require a 500 people team to build this kind of technology, right? Today, a 8 people, 10 people
Sure.
team can build this kind of technology that goes to Fortune 100 companies. So the ability to become an entrepreneur today, the ability to raise capital is easier. Your ability to build products is easier. Your ability to go and sell to global companies sitting out of India is today possible. So a lot of things that you could have not done 5 years, 10 years ago is possible today. So I think this is the best time to become an entrepreneur. And the opportunities are multiple, right? So opportunities are creating content micro dramas. Today, if you want to build an app and build a micro drama and basically help companies or people submit stories, and those stories are converted in using AI into videos, and the stories that get the most views, you do a video sharing, uh, revenue sharing with those content creators. There could be an opportunity there. There's so many thousands of opportunities today of entrepreneurship that I think people who can become entrepreneurs today should definitely explore becoming entrepreneurs. Like I was talking to this company right now, I'll not name, is a very famous person who had sold his company for hundreds of millions of dollars. He's launching a platform to help entrepreneurs, and
Okay.
we are trying to license our platform to them that those entrepreneurs can do consumer research using Consumr.ai before they launch the business. Right. So that is
Wow.
what we are trying to sort of license to them. But they're going to provide almost like a structured process where they'll ask you a question, you share your idea, it'll create a deck for you that you can use to pitch to VCs. So you create a deck
Superb.
and the platform will help you improve your deck to pitch to VCs. So now what happens is that just imagine the ability even the pitching process to a VC has become simpler. So today
Okay.
my recommendation is that as many people as possible should look at entrepreneurship. So there is a very interesting book I read called Startup Nation. It's on Israel. So
Yep.
an Israeli mother is most happy when the Israeli son or daughter becomes an entrepreneur, while Indian mother is generally happy when the son or daughter becomes an engineer or doctor. So the difference is that today the second largest Nasdaq listed companies in the world comes from a small place called Israel. It's bigger than all the European
Okay.
companies put together. So
Sure.
that's what the opportunity is. There's so many billion-dollar
Wow.
companies being created in Israel. It's unbelievable. Because I think entrepreneurship is the true way to create wealth in the future. In the world of AI, where you'll have single people companies which will be worth $1 billion. This was never possible earlier.
Sure.
You could never have a single person company creating $1 billion company. Today is possible. A single person will be able to create a company that's worth $1 billion. So I think entrepreneurship
Yes.
has never had it so well. I think today is the best time to become an entrepreneur.
Superb. Vivek, one feedback, or maybe some inputs we look forward from you in a program which we run currently, the media entertainment. Some topics this year, AI, of course, we have taken it very seriously. We have already implemented digital transformation AI. Anything else you think, Vivek, this year's curriculum at the Wellinger PG Media Entertainment program should have?
I think you should focus one definitely on consumer intelligence and market research.
Consumer intelligence and
Intelligence and market
market research.
research. I think also you should focus on disruption. How different industries are getting disrupted and how broadcasting is getting disrupted, how advertising is getting disrupted, how media is getting disrupted, how research is getting disrupted. So basically what happens is that how is all these different industries getting disrupted, and if
Okay.
you are from that industry, how do you in a way create a moat so that you don't get disrupted, right? So basically
Okay.
what happens is that the biggest challenge is right today, if you are doing anything today, a new industry is coming in and disrupting it, and AI is disrupting it. So how do you build a moat? So I met somebody from OpenAI a couple of months back in California, and something that he mentioned was very interesting to me. He says that when AI improves, if your solution also improves, you will actually have a future. But if AI improves and becomes closer to your solution that you have, then sooner or later you'll go out of business, because sooner or later AI will disrupt your industry and disrupt you. And actually, the thing is, AI is not even trying to disrupt you, right? They
Okay.
are too big. They're just disrupting everything because trying to make something better. So let's say in consumer AI, right? We are collecting data from 13 different platforms. We're using the data to create an AI twin, and the AI twin then is able to use LLMs in the back end to improve responses, do creative evaluation, do market research, to do media, and do competitive analysis, product development. So the better and better AI and LLMs are becoming, the data that we send to the LLMs are giving us better responses. So we have a virtuous
Okay.
ecosystem where the input we are giving to LLMs is improving the LLM output, We're improving the input at our end and the output is improving. So it's a virtuous ecosystem between the LLMs and us. That's the reason I think we'll do well as a company. But if every time LLMs would improve and they would become closer to my output rather than improving my output, then sooner or later I would go out of business.
It's true. So disruption, AI, what else should we have in this year's syllabus at Wellington?
So research is consumer intelligence is something that I mentioned.
Research?
Uh,
Yes, yes.
right. I
Any
think we
companies
should.
which we need to follow? Maybe we should train our students
Yeah,
on
I
some
think
few companies which you will suggest.
so. I think see AI is too generic a topic. I think you should have one thing on AI tools that you train your teams
Tools.
tools, right? So everybody should know how Claude works. We should be able to create a co-work, create projects, create dispatch, create artifacts, use every single aspect of these platforms. The same way, vibe coding. So looking at how you build websites. So let's say I'll give you an example, right? Let's say all the students should build a website. What they should do is they should take any existing website of the government and redesign it. So everybody takes up one guy takes an e-visa website, one person takes up a website of railway booking,
Railways.
whatever it says it, and everybody redesigns it. Now what happens is that you can actually rebuild it from scratch, right?
Yeah.
If you today, if somebody just types in the e-visa website and looks at it, like if you ask me, right, it is just to like without trying to sound condescending towards the Indian government, is it possible that I can share something?
Uh, Not sure, Vivek. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah, but then you
So
saying
I
we
would
can improve the
I would
UI
encourage
UX.
everybody.
Uh,
Yeah. So I would encourage everybody to actually just go to the e-visa website of India and imagine yourself as a foreigner who's applying for a e-visa, right?
got you.
So
Got
it's
you.
almost like it
Sure.
looks like a website that has been built 20 years ago.
Sure. So yes,
So
maybe this could be a project which we include. Yeah.
everybody should basically build things. So
Build.
so if somebody comes to me with a CV, uh, instead of that, he comes to me or she comes to me with the things they've built.
Projects.
The chances of me
That's
giving them a
the
job if they come to me with showing me things that they've built, I think is higher.
part. Sure. Sure. Perfect. Sounds good. Vivek, this was fantastic. We have 5 more minutes. Let's see if we have some questions and try to answer them.
Sure.
Yangpo team, allow people to ask question. Audiences, feel free to unmute yourself and ask if you have any questions. We are here to answer them.
By the way, I can show my screen, so I'll just show it 1 second. Can everybody see my screen?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Right. So this is the e-visa
Current
website
one.
of India.
Got you.
Right. So imagine, right, this is the website. Now, these are the websites we used to have 25 years ago.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Got you. Got you. Sure. Yeah. Any questions? Raise your hand and we'll allow you to speak. I don't think. Yeah. AK. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Yeah.
My name is Aditya. Sir, when I think about consumers consuming stuff on social media, I have noticed a trend among at least people my age, where they've become very, very hyper specific on what they consume. Since there is so much consumption going on, whether it be Reddit, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and even when you go outdoor nowadays, there is so much advertisement, so much branding which is upfront. People have purposely stopped consuming a lot of stuff. I've heard people say, "No, I don't watch Bollywood anymore. I don't watch TV shows anymore. I don't watch politics anymore." So, do you think this problem will just get worse, where people will be less and less open to being subjected to marketing or advertising, or do you think this is another opportunity where we can improve as an industry?
So I think what is happening, AK, is that the consumption that was based on interruptions is going down. So earlier you would not you would have something where it would get interrupted and show you an ad. That is something which people are now very reluctant to do so. But what is happening is that what you're consuming after logging in, if you're consuming a certain cuisine more than others, you're consuming content on dogs more than cats, or wine versus beer, or action versus comedy, there are 1.2 million interests that Meta tags today and tracks you. Similarly, if you take what you're searching for on Google, what your LLM answer engines are telling you, what you're actually asking questions on ChatGPTs and Geminis and Claudes of the world, etc., that is being tracked. So when you look at the total interactions that consumers are doing with digital media today, including AI, it actually increased exponentially. So if if today if my parents would spend half an hour a day in front of media, I spend 2 hours in front of media. The current generation spends 4 hours or 5 hours in front of media. Now you may think that your consumption has gone down, but there are so many areas that you're getting influenced today, whether it's through micro dramas, whether it's through Instagrams, whether it's through, uh, to a certain extent, even WhatsApp, right? Uh, so the fact of the matter is, we think the media, the ability of media to impact and influence our decisions is going down. I think is going up. Today now, ChatGPT has started advertising, right? So now what happens is that when you ask questions, uh,
I show you.
the answer may not have an ad, but tomorrow you will see some influence somewhere where some subtle nudges will get you to do what the brand wants you to do. So I feel the more AI understands us even more than what we understand ourselves, the ability of those technologies to influence us, I think, is only going to increase and not decrease. So we as humans, if we learn how to use those technologies more effectively, I think we'll be capable of influencing humans more than what the humans in the past had the ability to influence humans.
Thank you, sir. So essentially, a niche will do a better job in influencing people than just a general statement. Like niches are more important now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So if you are like 1.4 billion people, I would divide that into 1,500, 1,400 different categories of million each, and each million will be influenced differently depending on your gender, depending on your age, depending on your interest, depending on the city you live in, what community you're from. There will be so many factors. I will basically bucket you. I will try to understand your behavior. I will understand what influences you. I will nudge you in 20 different ways and see which nudge works for you best. And then based on that, say that, okay, it won't be done on a individual basis because there will be invasion of privacy, but it'll be done for a million people at a time. So a million people have a certain behavior. They will be influenced in a certain way, different from the other million, but there'll be 1,400 different millions who will be targeting differently, both in terms of targeting, but also in terms of communication, in terms of creative, in terms of everything that we do with them to influence them.
Thank you so much, sir.
Super, super,
Thank you, sir.
fabulous. Yeah, one more question we can take. I think
Yeah,
I can see one hand raised.
Harsh has a question. Harsh, you can
Harsh, go ahead.
unmute yourself.
Yeah, yeah, unmute yourself, please. Yeah, no, unmute, unmute.
Okay, Sheetal also has a question. Maybe Sheetal, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Yeah,
Yes, go ahead,
Yeah, so
Sheetal.
so so it's thank you, sir. So, sir, I just wanted to get a cue of this, like all this conversation, like for the last 1 hour, we have been very positive about AI. Like AI is to build, it's not to replace kind of conversations we had. But, sir, are you one of those who, as the being a pioneer of media industry, are you up for media, like upcoming media students using a lot of AI for, let's say for a dissertation or a content piece? it's because our conversation was always on the other world. Like we have been very positive because we are building a content or a campaign or an event planning uh, or any such press release. Are you always positive regarding students or employees using AI for you?
So, Sheetal, I'm very clear. In the real world, if somebody in my company refuses to use AI, it's like I treat it as they are refusing to use a computer. So they have no future in my company if they're not using AI. Unfortunately for education, the challenge is that if 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 you use AI for exams, then it'll be AI answering all your exams rather than you answering exams. So unfortunately, at some level, right, the reason why they don't allow you to carry books or they don't allow you to carry internet and phones and computers to test your knowledge of understanding or test your knowledge of memory, you unfortunately can't use AI for uh, in a way, let's say, if you want to test your knowledge of a subject, then let's say you come for an interview to me, right, and I ask you a question, and that question is that how you handle this. I don't want you to then go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT the question because I could have asked ChatGPT myself. But in the long run, what's going to happen is I think people will actually use AI. So let's say uh, for the longest period of time, calculators are not allowed in exams. But then a time came when calculators were allowed in the exam.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of time where open books are allowed in exams in a lot of countries today. Same way, sooner or later, maybe there's a possibility AI will be uh, sort of less allowed. So let's say, let me give you an example. Let's say suppose you had an exam where you were allowed to use AI, but you were not allowed to cut and paste anything. You will have to type it out. And your ability to curate the answers and come out with a solution. Uh, so people would actually take a video recording of how you're using AI, and that video recording will tell the examiner how you were able to find the right tools, ask the right prompts, ask the right questions, create the right answers, argue with AI, and arrive at a solution which was better than the solution other students were able to come up with, all having access to the same AI. That would be the, a better way to test the real life skills. Because when you join a company, nobody's going to tell you that you this guy did it with AI and you did it without AI, so I should give you higher marks because you did it without AI. I want the best answer. I don't care how you achieve that answer. If you say you didn't use AI, I'll say, why didn't you use AI?
Sure.
Sheetal, does it answer your question to some extent?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In fact, on
Thank
the
you, sir.
exam part, Vivek, if you remember, we did a program together with Harvard Business School online, and you remember it's all open book, it's online, but it is all application-based question. No AI worked at Harvard.
Yeah, true.
So tools, testing tools are changing for sure. Last
Yeah.
one question.
I think
Anubhuti Nigam. Anubhuti,
Yes, sir.
go ahead. Quickly, yeah, we have less time now.
Sure. Good evening, sir. It was indeed a very interactive session, but uh, I would like to ask that when we talk about generative AI and we talk about these industries, these media industries, what is the future of, we talk about visual influencers a lot, but what is the future of voice only influencers, like in the age of podcast and, interactive smart apps? Like how should an aspiring voice artist build a personal brand today, or like how as mobile apps integrate more voice user interfaces and interactive voice AI, so what may be the new career opportunities which are opening for voice actors and maybe for the people who are willing to work in the voice industry?
yeah. So I think if you take right in the last 10 years, nobody expected podcast to become so big. Today, some of the largest influencers in the world are actually running podcasts. And most of the podcasts used to be voice, and now it's voice and video, but it's very similar to that. So I think media consumption is changing. Uh, at this point of time, I don't know which are the ones and how voice is going to be more important or voice is going to be. So today you can actually give voice and AI will create videos in the back end. Uh, you would actually have AI creating the voice. So your ability of using a combination of AI and human skills is going to matter. How they can be used to create what kind of content, I don't have an answer for it. But I know for sure that the mediums and uh, let's say the media is evolving. I think it's going to evolve across every single thing. Like today the entire call center industry, if you like last week we were trying to book a table at Thai Pavilion in Taj, and the person who took our booking was an AI thing.
Yeah.
And the only way we came to know it was AI was not because the sound was different, because we could make out that when they were trying to reconfirm the booking, or my daughter's name is Ishika, so the spelling that the AI found was AKSHITA or AKHITA or something, Akshita or something. So so it was like basically and try to book a table for lunch for 6:30 p.m. because the AI didn't hear it right. So those are things that I came to know that it's AI. But from a voice point of view, he sounded like a human. So you could make out. Um, so so I don't know which, but again, niche industries of saying that oh, voice is going to be big and I'm going to build my career as a voice artist is not the way to look at it. I may be wanting to build a content in the horror genre, which is horror genre of mythological horror stories of the Ramayana and Mahabharata age. And I'm going to build content in that space. And now, whether I use video or I use voice or I use graphics or I use anime, but I'm going to specialize in that. And that is, I'm going to build this whole thing about horror genre in the mythological space. So now what happens is, if that becomes a click, you end up creating content, you're becoming a leader, a content creator in that space, and nobody has created that genre, and people love that genre. Then again, you may become big content creator. But if saying that I'll become a good content creator just using voice as a differentiation, I don't know. It's like saying I'll become a good content creator using video as a differentiator. Does it
Sure.
answer your
And
question,
then
Anubhuti?
probably,
Yes, sir. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for your insights.
Okay.
and Anubhuti also, of course, there is where collaborations will come in place. Na? You have voice, there is video, and there is technology and content, and a lot of people coming together is where the entire content is getting created now. Yeah. So,
Right.
Vivek, thank you very, very much for this valuable insights. We are going to incorporate a lot of suggestions which you gave, and you will see that in the classroom when you come probably for the next guest lecture at Wellinger. Uh, Micro drama is something which has really caught on my attention, and I'm going to check it out after this. Yeah. So, Vivek, thank you very much, and let's be in touch. Thank you, everyone, to be a part of this
Yeah.
event. Yeah.
Okay, my friends.
Bye bye. See
See
you.
you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.